Shalom, Lord.
Shalom.
Shalom. The water for everyone, gonna let people come in, but whoever's already here, we appreciate you being here. Sister Wana. We're gonna go to Feast of Tabernacles and what it represents. We're gonna let people come in first, just for them to get nice and comfortable.
Turn this phone off. How you doing, Adawan?
Oh, I'm too wild. I mean, my God is good. I am healthy as I can be, because part of it is my job, eating the right things.
That's
So
right.
We have our two regulars. Appreciate y'all. Give it a couple of more minutes. To open up, I'm gonna bring out the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Adawan Balal. Then we're gonna, go into the scriptures, give understanding about the Feast of Tabernacles and what it does, what it brings, how it changes you, and how it helps you out, right? In many ways, unbeknownst to many people. And those that come in, most high willing, as the scriptures say, build it and they will come. Just like for Noah, we want people to come and listen to this word. It helps them to understand on a deeper level what the Feast of Tabernacle represents, because we have many of these feasts in the same time span. So let me bring the Adwan Balal. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Aya Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwata, Taba'a, Watazaka, Kowa, Aya, Aisha, Barataza, Kowa, Aya, Ashamayam, Nathanawa, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Kabawaf, Now, Kasalakna, Kapawaf, Manawa, Wala'a, Tabianawa, Panasaya 1, Above, Awushinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kawa, Ha, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Wataparaf, Lai Walamium, Aman. So, the Feast of Tabernacles, right? Let me just bring up my notes here. Can you go to Isaiah 66:1 to start?
Isaiah chapter 66, starting at verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, The heaven is my throne,
Mm-hmm.
and the earth is my footstool.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the house that ye build unto me?
Mm-hmm.
And where is this place of my rest?
Where is this place of my rest? And from the word tabernacle means dwelling place, right? And first and foremost, before Israel as a city was a place, it was a person, right? So within us, we have to build that temple before we even start to contemplate building a place for the Lord that is suitable for his standards to dwell in. Because if we're not moving in a righteous manner or moving right according to the law and according to how Yahushua showed us how to move, how can we build a temple for him? It's not going to be to his measurements, to his standards, or even to anything that is conceivably acceptable to him. Even when Noah was asked to build the ark, even before then, he deemed Noah to be righteous to his standards before he built the ark, right? You got something to say, Lord?
I was just trying to turn my phone off.
Okay. So, as such, the month, right? At the beginning of the month was a Feast of Trumpets to announce the coming not only of a Day of Atonement, but Feast of Tabernacles. But then the Feast of Tabernacles is the feast to declare that it's not only the end of the harvest, right? Because many of these feasts are agricultural in nature, right? So at Feast of Tabernacles, we're supposed to bring in the harvest, and from that harvest, we're supposed to offer to the Lord, just like when Cain and Abel was offering their offerings to the Most High. So as such, if we don't offer something that is righteous, especially after the Day of Atonement, what does that say about us? Because the Day of Atonement was set to be able for us to cleanse ourselves of the sins that we committed during the year, to prepare us for the Feast of Tabernacles. Because at that point, your dwelling place, your temple, your body should be cleansed, right? Should be cleansed. Can you get Leviticus 23, verse 39, all the way to 44?
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 39.
Yeah.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 39. Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offering, which ye give unto the Lord. Also,
verse 23, verse 39.
Oh, Salak, I started at 38. Verse 39. Also, in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
That'll be a Sabbath. That means that no work, no servile work, and meaning no servile work, meaning no work for hire or work for money. And in that verse, it says, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, right? And as Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 2 says what? There's a time to plant and there's a time to pluck up. Now, this is the time that we pluck up and bring to the Lord, right? Go verse 40.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
Now, imagine before we came into Israel, we dwelt in tents. So those boughs were used to build the tents, to be able to dwell in and appreciate what the Most High gave us during the harvest year, which is very apt to understand that even when we were in the wilderness, we depended on the Lord to be able to not only eat, but be safe, have shelter, to have everything we have. But today, we, as a nation, we are complacent, and the amenities of this world have us fooled thinking that we're not gonna need the Most High as much, or I could go to the back, I could go to the throne, or I could go to the sink and get tap water. Back then, it was not like that, man. You had to go far away to get water in the bucket, come back. You had to plant, make sure you get it was not a hardship, but if you didn't follow the Lord, you felt it. You felt it more in the immediate. You got something to bring out, Lord?
La. I'm gonna let you build.
See, so it's a beautiful thing. It's just we can't forget that while we eating these meals and we going out to camp in the wilderness, it's even better because we have a goodly sense of what it was like back then. Because what was then is now, and what is to be has already been, right? And God's going to require what is past. So our forefathers went out there and dwelt in the wilderness, dwelt on a 24-hour, 365 basis for 40 years before they got into the land of Israel. But we got it so nice and easy that we don't think that this place is gonna crash or is gonna fall down because America is superpower. Right? But that's not that's you can't fall back on this system to think that it's gonna keep you safe and keep you sheltered. Only the Most High could do that. Can you get Ezekiel 31:8?
Okay.
We're gonna see what the Most High likened us onto, right? What He compared us to the prophet Ezekiel.
Ezekiel chapter 31, starting at verse 8. The cedars in the garden of God could not hide him.
Hide who?
Could not hide him.
Hide him. So he's a man. Go ahead.
The fir trees were not like his boughs.
But not like his boughs. I mean, the fir trees are like his boughs. Like we just read before, that boughs and branches, they're similar, right? Basically the same thing. Keep going.
And the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him in his beauty.
In his beauty. Go ahead, keep going. One more verse.
I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him.
Envied him. I mean, you said a multitude of branches. Now, if you have a multitude of branches on a tree, shouldn't that tree bring forth goodly fruit? Can, right? So imagine during the Feast of Tabernacles, Most High asked you to bring back the harvest. But you're not only are you supposed to bring back the harvest to him, but spiritually inside yourself, you have to come also with goodly fruit. Because you just passed Day of Atonement. That means that you are renewed. Your branches might be bare or not have fruit, but at least you're coming in the right spirit, in the right state of mind to be in the temple of the Most High. Right? Give me Matthew 7:16.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or fig thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit.
Every good tree bringing forth good fruit. I mean, your acts, the way you conduct yourself according to the law, according to how we showed us how to do, greatest example ever. I mean, who else is a better example than Yahushua? He did it. And he said, basically, he said, whatever we suffered, he suffered before us. So we can't complain and say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Nah, he suffered before us. So who are we to say, I can't? Like, I know sometimes, even all of us, we've been through, especially after the Day of Atonement, and especially before, you feel like you've done a lot of things that are wrong during the year. I know I did. So as such, it's a good thing that he gave us that day, among other days, to cleanse us ourselves. And we show up before him with our temples. Like, okay, because we have a debt to pay. We have a debt. Like, there's even I'm not gonna go off topic a little bit, but there's even an author. He wrote that Henry VIII, right? He said basically we owe God a debt, right? And when you say debt, you mean death. We owe God a debt. If we pay it today, we don't owe it tomorrow. But that's very extreme. But it shows you that, in the scriptures it says, paraphrase, it says, tomorrow is not promised to no one. So might as well go hard today. And if you present yourself before the Lord, just like you do at the Feast of Tabernacles, Passover, Feast of Pentecost, or Feast of First Fruits, same thing, Feast of Dedication, you have nothing to reproach yourself, nothing to say that I didn't go as hard as I could. Because both blessings and cursings comes from the Lord. Mm-hmm. What you get is what you deserve. You can't say, oh, I did. Before you could say, I didn't know. But once you know, you have to go to certain feasts 3 times a year. Show up with gladness in your heart. You do what you're supposed to do because you want, not because it's a burden upon you. Well, you can't reproach yourself. You have nothing to reproach. Give me Isaiah 55:8.
Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts,
mm-hmm.
neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Keep going.
For as the rain cometh down,
mm-hmm.
and the snow from heaven,
mm-hmm.
and returneth not thither,
mm-hmm.
but watereth the earth,
mm-hmm.
and maketh it bring forth and bud,
mm-hmm.
that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater.
Mm-hmm.
So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It shall not return unto me void.
It shall not what?
It shall not return unto me void.
Keep going.
But it shall accomplish that which I please.
That which I please. That means that we do what pleases the Lord is to go to the feast and keep the commandments that he stipulated. And it's not burdensome, it's not hard, right? It's not difficult. Now give me Baruch chapter 2, verse 1. Because we heard from the scriptures, as above, so below. Now we heard that everything that comes out of the mouth of the Lord doesn't come back to him. So as such, we should be the same. Go ahead.
Baruch chapter 2 and verse 1. Therefore, the Lord have made good his word.
The Lord have made what?
The Lord have made good his word.
Go ahead.
Which he pronounced against us
mm-hmm.
and against our judges, that judged Israel, and against our kings, and against our princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah.
And Judah. That means that everything he says is going to come to pass. No, there's no escape. You can see the other nations have an escape for now. They have a dispensation to escape. For us, we are held to a higher standard. So as such, we can't shirk our duties, and we can't just say, you know, oh, I can't make it, or, you know, I have issues. Or if you have issues, you could just call brothers and see what brothers could do to mitigate or help you out to get, because as you remember, Daniel, what did he do when Saul wanted to kill him? But he had to show up for the for the new moon. Man, he got there by hook or by crook. Man, he got there, hid in the bushes. He's like, yo, he said, yo, Lord, I'm here. Saul was looking for your way. Saul was like, yo, what David at, man? David's supposed to be here. But he knew that Saul was trying to get him, man. He's like, yo, Lord, I can't be with that man right now, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm in front of you. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the do. Keep the commandment by hook or by crook. And you got to respect that, man. When the men do that, man, it's like, yo, that's why the scriptures, it shows you those men went through it even before we did. So we can't be like, nah, I got this, I got that. And, you know, we understand there are situations, but if you try your hardest to make it and you really can't, at that point, between you and the Most High, we, as brothers, we have to try to be your keeper. We have to, right? Can you give me Psalms 99 and 5?
Okay. Psalms chapter 99, starting at verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Exalt ye the Lord our God,
mm-hmm.
and worship at his footstool,
mm-hmm.
for he is holy.
Clean.
Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that call upon his name.
Mm-hmm.
They called upon the Lord, and he answered them.
So during the year, many of us, did we not call upon the Lord? Did we not call upon the Lord?
Okay.
And did he answer? Okay. So now, when the Most High call you, or call all of us for the Feast of Tabernacles, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror like, Most High called me, I ain't show up. It's like, if any brother would call you, right? I'm asking the audience, if any brother or sister call you, and you know them personally, and you know how their life be running, and they be running left and right, and they call you, right? And you're there for them, and you help them out with the issue or whatever. The one day that they call you, and they don't come through, when you feel tight, I'm asking. If you feel tight, press hit 1 in the chat. If somebody, you help them out through whatever situation, and one day they call you, no, you call them, you call them for assistance for whatever issue, and they're not there for you, wouldn't you feel tight? You would feel tight. So this is what, read that again, Lord. Read that again. That part again.
Psalms chapter 99, verse 5. Exalt ye the Lord our God,
mm-hmm.
and worship at his footstool, for
mm-hmm.
he is holy.
Mm-hmm.
Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Saul among them that call upon his name.
Mm-hmm.
They called upon the Lord, and he answered them.
And he answered them. Go ahead, keep going.
He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar.
Mm-hmm.
They kept his testimonies and the ordinance that he gave them.
Mm-hmm.
Thou answerest them, O Lord our God. Thou wast a God that forgavest them, though thou tookest vengeance of their intentions, of their inventions.
Of their inventions. Go ahead.
Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy hill, for the Lord our God is holy.
At his holy hill. So, it's Most High is asking you to come, because the whole year, y'all, Most High, I need this. Most High, I'm not feeling well today. I'm not feeling nice to go to work. I'm still going to work. And the Most High made it so easy for you that, you couldn't complain. You're like, hey, everything is happening so smoothly today. It's happening smooth. You know what I'm saying? Then today he said, okay, today's the Feast of Tabernacles. I need you to be there. You're not there? Most High gonna be tight. You gotta be tight. There's no escaping it. Give me Psalms 110 and verse 1.
Psalms chapter 110, verse 1. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Until if the Most High asks you to sit at his right hand, that means that basically, not only do you have to follow his orders, be there in the feast, follow Yahushua, do all of that, right? But also in the scripture it says what? Can two walk together lest they be agreed? So how can the Most High put you at his right hand side if you're not doing what you're supposed to do? That's not going to rock. We all know that. But it has to be said. It has to be said so people could lock it in. This weekend, Feast of Tabernacles. And we know that during that time, it's a rebuilding process of yourself and how you should roll for the remainder of the so-called year, and how you should conduct yourself and reflect, and how you can mitigate certain mistakes that was done during the year. That, all right, the next time this happens, I'm going to conduct myself in a different way because you locked it in. Locked it in. Just like our ancestors were building the booths, or shall we say the tents, they have to lock it in. Like, because by regress, it's not necessarily regression of who we are, it's mostly a regression of the spirit to understand, man, I gotta go back to basics and rebuild the booth, sleep in there, and understand when I come out, it's a whole new me. It's a whole new you or everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching, a whole new you, right? Because as we were out there in the wilderness, right? We're going to see, I'm going to show you. Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 1, verse 22 and 23. We tend to forget what happened out there. Like, once I was like, man, I got you. I mean, he made a tree fall in water. It made it sweet. Kool-Aid, man. Go ahead.
Where you want me to begin, other one?
2nd Ezra chapter 1, verse 22.
Verse 22. Come another one. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 1, verse 22. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, when ye were in the wilderness, in the river of the Amorites, being athirst and blaspheming my name, I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water and made the river sweet.
And made the river sweet. I mean, most I could have done us like the sons of Kohath. It was like, yo, why you put Moses as the one to be the leader of us, man? Like, why come it's him? What is it? What? Nah, y'all come over here. Y'all come over here. Bring your senses. No. You open your mouth. You said what you said. All of y'all bring your senses. And Most High gave them fire, man. Gave them fire. But in this case, he said, nah, I'm gonna let y'all rock out. Y'all was talking reckless, but I'm gonna give you Kool-Aid before Kool-Aid existed. I'm gonna give you Tang even before them astronauts went up there at the so-called moon. They were drinking so-called Tang. I gave you Tang before there was Tang, man. But yeah, we're talking reckless. You're talking reckless, Lord. Got something, Lord?
So he gave him sweet tea.
Sweet tea, man. They had Kool-Aid, Tang. They had the orange picture coming in to the picture. Oh yeah, but no, they was not doing it. They was not rocking with the Lord all the way. It was still murmuring, talking reckless. Most High could have burned them up, man. You give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11, verse 2. Because in Jeremiah 29, it tells you to build your houses, right? And dwell in them. But right now, we have to build the house that's within us during these few days that's going to pass by us. Because I know a lot of people are watching the housing market. Oh, I want to buy a house, but their body's not right. Their spirit is not right yet. But you watching for the housing market to buy a house. Go ahead, Lord.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11, verse 2. They went through the wilderness that was not inhabited and pitched tents in the places where they lay no way.
They lay no way. Yo, it was nothing around. Nothing. It's like if anybody's been on a cruise and you've been on the top deck at night, you know what nothing means. You see nothing around. Like it's pitch dark. And you have the Most High with a pillar of fire watching you and making sure you're safe. Keep going.
Verse 3. They stood against their enemies and were avenged of their adversaries.
Mm-hmm.
When they were thirsty, they called upon thee.
Mm-hmm.
Water was given them out of the flinty rock, and their thirst was quenched out of the hard stone.
Man, I'm telling you, Most High is good, man. Most High is good. And we have to be aware. And that's why a lot of camps, and Most High watch over them and bless them during that time frame, they go out there in the wilderness and they just, make a fire, build tents before the night falls. And you get an understanding of the things you have to do before the night hits, man. If let's say you get there too late, you have to pitch your tent in the dark. That means you need flashlights, or you need to build a fire before. But why should you get there late? Because in the wilderness, when we was out there with the Most High, sure, we had the pillar of fire, but we knew when night was gonna fall. So it's like, all right, night's about to come down. Let's get it on. Build a tent. At least we'll be ready. The Most High is gonna might bring some food at night. What did he bring, Lord? Wasn't it quail?
Quail, the manna at first.
Yeah, in the morning it was manna, and at night it was quail.
The amazing thing about the manna, though, is that it would taste like whatever it was that you could imagine. Whatever you had a taste for that day, that's what it tastes like.
Good. It's like, that means it's like, how can you quantify the Most High when he put something in your hand that you put in your mouth, and it's like, yeah, it tastes whatever. It could taste like a fruit, like whatever you want it.
Whatever you imagine.
It's like, man, not gonna lie, even then it wasn't no struggle. Even then, it wasn't in no struggle, though. Brothers and sisters was spoiled. Come on, man. Go ahead, Lord.
And we were still murmuring.
Oh, man, it's spoiled. You have something that, would change according to your taste buds, but it's not good enough. Why What did they say in the scriptures? Why are you bringing out here to die?
Yeah. Say we was eating cucumbers and melon when we was in captivity. Bring us out here to die. If that's not us, I don't know who it is. I don't.
Yo, you telling me? Come on, man. I had situations at work where I had nothing. I went to work. I had nothing to eat. I said, Most High, whatever you make happen, make happen. I got to work. I had a box of lunch, man, waiting for me, man. It was some event that was going on, and I had a box waiting for me. I was like, yo, Most High, you are amazing. Yo, I'm telling you, when brothers and sisters are hungry, yo, that tummy be roaring, Lord, like a lion in the wilderness.
Want me to continue reading?
No, it's too wild. You could go ahead, Lord.
Oh, okay. Where you want me at?
I mean, it's give me Psalms 132 and 7.
Psalms chapter 132. Starting at verse 7. We will go into his tabernacles.
Mm-hmm.
We will worship at his footstool.
Mm-hmm.
Arise, O Lord, into thy rest, thou and the ark of thy strength.
Mm-hmm.
Let thy priests be clothed with righteousness,
mm-hmm.
and let thy saints shout for joy.
See that? So, because in this, it says, let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, right? But we are a kingdom of kings and priests. And that righteousness, it's not a physical garment. It's not a physical garment. It's something that is worn that can be seen. Because can you get me in the book of Matthew, I believe, where the brother came to the party. The brother came to the party and he had a wrong garment on.
Find that.
And he had the wrong garment on. It's a lot. I'm going from memory here. But he had the wrong garment on. But it wasn't a garment because people think it's a party, you have to dress well, 3-piece suit. That's not the case. This was a garment, a spiritual garment that you were supposed to wear and have, both in the spirit, mentally, and have that. But he didn't. So he had to be tossed out. He had to be kicked out. Like, what you doing? Nah, you ain't got the right clothes on. You ain't got the right garment. You had to be tossed out. And that's why in the book of James, it says what? It says, let me get it.
You want me to read this, Matthew?
Yeah, read the Matthew.
This is Matthew chapter 22, verse 11. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there was a man which had not on a wedding garment.
Wedding garment. Go ahead.
And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot and take him away.
See that? Why would they need to bind that man hand and foot? That man he didn't have the righteous garment on. Because you could grab anybody and toss him out. You don't need to tie him up. When was the other time that somebody was tied up? Wasn't it Legion?
He was bound up.
He was bound up. So that man was bound up too. And then they did what? Keep going.
Bind him hand and foot and take him away.
Take him away. See what?
And cast him The outer darkness.
Utter darkness. Go ahead.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Mm.
For many are called, but few are chosen.
Few are chosen. Yeah. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. That man came to the party thinking he was good. He bound him up and tossed him in the darkness. Now, if you look at Psalms, it says what? Thy law is a lamp. Now, if you don't have the law and understanding, you follow Yahushua, you're going to be in that darkness. But you have the light that protects you from everything that's around you, that you can't see, that the Most High protect you from. They casting that man in the darkness, like, yo, go, yo. It's like a sack of potatoes. Blah. You know, go over there. And we could even see that in the book of the law, as I recall. Let me see. Is Leviticus chapter 17. Because when Aaron was consecrated, what did they do with the scapegoat? They put all the sins of Israel on the scapegoat and they let it loose to be devoured. That's how sin was so repulsive to the Most High. That person had to not only bring that scapegoat out the camp, he had to have a change of clothes. He would wash his clothes when he let loose the scapegoat, wash his clothes, let him to dry, put on new clothes, and come back into the camp. Now, we, after the Day of Atonement, what did we do? We washed ourselves, right? We washed ourselves. So now we coming back in. We have to come back in with the right state of mind and the fresh clothes, fresh spirit, go in the tent and reflect. That's what it's all about. That's the chances we are given by the Most High. It's not, it's an easy thing, but you have to be sincere in doing it. If you're not sincere, it's a wasted day, a wasted week. And it's something that it's a lost opportunity. It's a lost opportunity, Lord. Give me this is one of my last scriptures. Give me 2 Peter 1:10.
2 Peter chapter 1, verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
Mm-hmm.
For if you do these things, ye shall not fall.
Mm-hmm.
For so an entrance shall be ministered unto you abundantly into the everlasting kingdom of our Lord and Savior, Mashiach Yahushua.
I mean, he did it, man. He made it look superb. And he was being chased, trying to kill that man. He still made it happen. So that's all I got for me, Lord. You brought something?
Man. Beautiful lesson. I didn't want to interject too much. I just wanted to let you go.
Come.
Just wanted to listen and learn.
Go out, Lord. Appreciate it.
Kind of one.
Let me see. You ain't got nothing, Lord?
I'm just taking it in. I'm just listening to you, King. I didn't come to teach. I came to aid and assist my brother. That's all.
Okay. So it's a lot. I mean, if we all have a commonwealth in Yahushua's inheritance, right? because he's the heir of all things. That's in, get me Hebrews 1 and 2.
Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Having these last days spoken unto us by his Son,
Mm-hmm.
whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
Appointed heir of all things. So he is heir. And we have a commonwealth with him to rule the earth. Because he's gonna rule the world with an iron rod. So he's not gonna be playing around, right? And we could see that we have a commonwealth by going to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 12. What's that? Because before we had the law, we had everything, we had the feasts, we know when and where, not where, but when to celebrate those things, and we didn't do that, right? So as such, I wish I came and you showed us how to do. Now, go ahead, read what you got.
It's Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 12. That at that time ye were without Yahushua, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world.
In the world. So whoever tells you, oh, he died for the world, he died for everybody, you have another. How can everybody be included in that when it says Commonwealth of Israel? And Israel was a person before it was a place. So that person had 12 sons, and those people, us basically, are the only ones that's going to have a share in that. But our people will want to share that. I don't want to have other nations, at least right now, during the Feast of Tabernacles. I want to be around brothers.
God.
I want to be around my people, be rocking it out in the woods, having a good old time, eating good food, praying to the Most High first and foremost, and Yahushua HaMashiach, doing our thing. And after that, we just laughing and understanding and freezing in the dark. Like, damn, I didn't know it was like this. And then you understand why we needed wool to be out there. Like, wool is a perfect fabric. Whether wet or dry, it keeps you warm. So it's like everything ties into everything else. And everything is a perfect fit. It's not a jigsaw puzzle that you have to smash with a hammer to make it fit. It's like, but all these other nations want to fit us a cube in a round peg, in a round hole, man. They want to make it fit. Now you can't fit. You just can't. It's only for us. you can't fit in. You might, when Yahushua come back, you might be in the outskirts, the outside, looking in, because you have to be there. Have to give your offering, but you're not going to be in the inner circle.
You know what? That's strange to me. That I find that only with Israelites is they're concerned about other nations. Like I can almost guarantee you that Chinese people are not putting up a fight to get black folks into heaven with them. I bet you they're not arguing with anybody about bringing us along.
I'm kidding me? That was the first one to come against us when we came out of Egypt.
That's the thing, but we always want to fight to bring others into, our wealth and our riches. We want to share our riches with everyone else.
And there's at least 3 scriptures offhand that tell you that's not going to go down. And even the 4th you just read, it's like, and this is not something that can be shared. Like, even in anybody that was here when I was going over the medical apartheid. If they could be joined in with us, why did they do all these experimentations, trying to figure out how to remove melanin from a black man, how to have our women breed as many children as possible? Why would you do that? If you had a part in the Most High's inheritance, you would never do it, because it would not be considered brotherly love. But they still did it. They even books that tell you that they knew that slavery was wrong, but they couldn't pass up the free labor. They're like, oh man, we got Negroes not doing nothing. We could use them to do build the White House and build all this stuff and for free and not pay them. And you have Irish people. How we were slaves too. Now you were indentured servants. That means you had a wage. Between you and us, there wasn't even a pay gap. You didn't even get paid. You get paid at all. But you got paid. You got paid some.
And the thing about it, when you really go into the real history about the indentured service, those were us as well. When you go into the history of England, when Oliver Cromwell had came against, Scotland and England and all of the provinces that King James, his son, was ruling at that time. When Oliver Cromwell came against him, and we were shipped on boats into Barbados and Jamaica and a lot of the Caribbean islands, and a lot of our people were told that if we go there and work, that we will be given land and houses and things of that nature. So the original indentured servants was also Israelites, or at that time we were being called Iberians, because we were residents of Ireland and in those provinces over there in Europe.
See that? And but when you look at it, whether it be the British or, the so-called Anglo-Saxons, to us is all the same. It's all the same. Some of them will tell you, I'm Polish. Oh, I'm Ukrainian, or I'm Russian. To me, it only says this: you have different degrees of evil. At the end of the day, the Russians ain't go and grab black people in Africa, but you still Esau. Mm-hmm. And what most I say, never trust that enemy. And during the Feast of Tabernacles, when you look at it from an aspect of, in the term of the wisdom of the Most High, scriptures tell us that wisdom is a circle, or it's constantly circles the world, right? So if it circles the world, that means that our temple, just like the priests and the Levites had to do, they had to upkeep the temple for the Most High. So as people, should we upkeep ourselves? We have to upkeep our spirit, make sure it's right. Either we get rebuked by brothers, or we get chastised by the Most High, or we do a deep inner reflection upon yourself. You're like, yo, what did I do today? How did this week went? Man, I went off. Oh, this week went well. Praise the Most High. Man, I went off. Praise the Most High for realizing that and not killing me in the process. Because you build yourself in the spirit during this time, then you go out there and you do what you're supposed to do for the Most High in gladness of heart. Then that temple is built. Then in conjunction, the Most High rains blessings upon us, and we grow as what? As trees. Ezekiel 31:8. And we keep growing and growing and growing, and our fruit is magnificent. Most High be like, yo, let me pluck up Sister Benny. Let me plug up Sister One-on-One. Let me plug up Sister Sikara. Let me plug up Jimmy Fan. Let me plug up some brothers. They're looking good right now. Let me elevate them. But if we don't, ask yourself, man, what's going on? Why is this happening? Did I do something wrong? For most of us, we don't do that. And that's why right now, many of these artists are being like, I'm gonna go to somebody. I pray that Most have mercy upon that man, whatever happens. But Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? He's in the hospital right now. And that's from Revelation chapter 18. 18 and 2, I believe, right? Can you get it? Might be 18 and 2 or 18:22.
Book of Revelation.
Yeah. No, verse 22. Verse 22.
Okay. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 22. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee.
See that? The Most High is just putting people to death left and right. Left and right. And it's and 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23 says what? Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Okay.
But a lot of our people, and in the industry, there are people speaking about Israel. There's even with people that thought they were Israel, they're not. And it's talked about. And still, there are people dying, getting sick. And around these days, like our holy days, for the Tabernacles, Day of Atonement, man, these are the times to watch out even more carefully.
Kind of around this time every year, man, spirits, evil spirits are very, very rampant.
Huh.
Because this is the season where we also come into all these demonic holidays that are coming around. People don't even realize that a lot of these holidays that were put into place is pretty much demonic rituals that conjure up a lot of different evils on the planet. When you just think of the influx of, you have Halloween, which what was it called originally? Was it Sans Hayes Day or something like that?
I'm not sure. I know it but Issachar is the Day of the Dead for that.
And that's what Halloween was like at that time when they used to say trick or treat. They used to they would sacrifice people's children. They would show up at your door and say trick or treat, and then they would kind of like purge, and they would sacrifice children. And it was called Sam. I believe it was called Sam Hayes Day. Let me look it up really quick. But just thinking about that, and then what else did they do? They try to connect that to around Tabernacles. Then they try to put Christmas, which we all know that's representative of Nimrod. But they try to connect the name of Christ to it, and that's demonic. Those are rituals where you bowing down to the tree, you're leaving gifts and food for the tree. Those are demonic rituals that they have us doing.
And imagine you leaving cookies and milk for somebody that's doing that's violating certain laws in the land, that they're trespassing, they're doing breaking and entering. They're doing soliciting a minor. Come on, man. We going into pedophilia. They ain't gonna need. You about to say something?
I was trying to find the name. It's called Sam Haines Festival. SAMHAIN. That was the original name of Halloween.
Wow.
So look into that, Look into that. That's where the trick or treat, where that comes from. They would show up at your door. And then if you had virgin children or virgin daughters, they would take your daughter and sacrifice her to devils. And they have our children participating in these things. These are all demonic rituals.
Unbeknownst to them.
Okay.
Next thing you know, they're like, nah, we all heard this. Since I was this year old, I celebrated this. I'm not about to stop now.
Or the one that they say, well, I do it for the kids.
I heard that.
I know it's wrong, but I do it for the children.
Next question I would ask is who's the master of the house? But then again, that's like Paul said, I'd be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. It's like, yo, what's the hierarchy in the house? It's the kids or you that's the leader. But then people will get angry. They're like, yo, bro, like truth is gonna hurt your feelings, man. I'm gonna be rude to you. There ain't no other way for you to. I gotta put a dynamite in your ear and blow it up.
And we just follow these things blindly. So there's a very, very close parallel to the reason why the Most High calls us sheep, because we just follow whatever custom, whatever's popular, whatever god these other heathens are worshiping, whatever customs, whatever foods they're eating. We just follow.
How do you spell it, Sam?
SAMHAIN.
Man. And who is that man? He invented that whole thing?
I don't know if he invented it, but I know that it was just called Sam Haines Festival. It was rooted in Celtic roots.
Celtic roots. And what's funny is the first Celtics were black.
Okay.
I mean, it's when you see that, like, this man is profoundly profane. Everything he touches, he destroys. Everything.
All of these things, man. We just following all of this foolishness, man, all of this madness. And then we say, well, God knows my heart.
Oh, word?
That's what I hear everybody say. Well, God knows my heart.
Well,
I do all this wickedness, but God knows my heart.
And that's why give me first James chapter 1, verse 5. If God knows your heart, right, then this should apply to those people too.
James chapter 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not.
Upbraideth not. Go ahead.
And it shall be given him.
Okay. So if God knows your heart, and we just read that he gives wisdom liberally, how come he didn't give you the wisdom to understand that that's off? It's just counterintuitive here. Like, he knows your heart, but he ain't give you that understanding. So what are you at? Like, a lot of us, like Paul said, there are certain scriptures that the unlearned wrestle with. Now, if you would bring up that scripture to them, be like, explain that to me. If you give liberally, how come he give you the wisdom to see that that's wrong? Even in Amos chapter 5, verse 20, it says what?
You want me to get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light?
Darkness and not light. Now remember, right? That man that came to the party, he will cast out in the darkness. Right? Keep going.
Even very dark and no brightness in it.
There's no brightness in it. That means you're going to be cast out in the wilderness. Whatever got you. Because you're going to be tied down. You're not going to be able to do nothing against what's coming against you. Keep going.
I hate and despise your feast days.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Go ahead.
Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts.
One more.
Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols.
See that? So, I celebrate, Thanksgiving. I always celebrated it. I don't care who knows it. I won't have my turkey and my ham with pineapples on top of it. I don't care. Not knowing that they grab your brethren from across the border down south, force them to come over here and work without papers, and once they're done for the Thanksgiving, they send them back. You see how much wickedness comes from doing these feasts? Somebody else at the other end in your nation is suffering because you going over there buying turkey and ham and all the trimmings and the stuffings and all that. Somebody's suffering at the other end for you celebrating something that's not even in the scriptures. Nobody said you can't eat turkey. You can eat turkey. Don't celebrate Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Independence Day. All that, man. It's just wicked. And we just read it. Most are not down with it. But you're gonna have people like you said, since I was 15, or since I could walk, I was eating pork at my table with my people. I'm not gonna stop. I don't care. All right. All right, man. Yeah, Sister Beverly. The heart is deceitful above all things, man. It desperately wicked. It's like they want to hold. It's like I imagine my people just holding on to that table and trying to grab that turkey leg, or trying to grab that piece of ham, and they don't want to let go. They want to sit at that table so bad. When in the book of Matthew, right? Most High was invited, like the rich man was inviting people, and some of them didn't want to come. Who came? The poor, them nobodies, the meek, and today would be considered the people in prison houses. In Isaiah 42 and 22. And they came and they sat down, and, they had a good time. But this all things that as Hosea 4 and 6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. It goes under the radar for them. I'm gonna ask you, Lord. I'm gonna ask everybody in the chat, how much fun that y'all have when y'all come to these feasts? You see people that you never seen, you make new networks, you meet new people. You're like, yo, I didn't know you were Israel. Oh yeah, I'm Israel, man. I came into the truth a few months ago. I've been in the truth for 3 years, so on and so forth. having a great old time. No pork in sight. You know, everything is safe because everybody is under the same mind state, same laws, same statutes. Everybody's moving in the same direction. So whatever is on your plate is safe for the fork. There ain't no pork on your fork. But people are not thinking like that, man. Even, I'm sure you've seen them at camp, Lord. Nah, I don't want to do that. You know, there's going to be food, right? Oh, what? There's going to be food? Yeah, there's going to be food. Oh, okay. Now, I'm coming now. Oh. But then they come and they're like, okay, now we're going to do the procession, do everything, the laws and everything. And you're like, okay, let's see. But I'm still hungry, though. Now we're going to get through to you. Because right now you're hungry, right? You weren't ready to hear that to give sacrifice of fools. So after that, get down to the grubbing. And you know how Israel is. Once the stomach is full, everybody's happy. Everybody's happy, having a good time. And that's too wild. But I'm going to say for some brothers, I will say this. After the party, we need people to help us clean up. Help the sisters clean up, help the brothers clean up, because the drums are heavy. Don't mean that you can leave, man. Y'all were playing music all night. Y'all was eating. Make sure the temple of the Most High, the place where you was, having a good time. Make sure it's clean before you leave. But with that, that's all I have for tonight. You got anything else to add, Lord?
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, or just add into when you were saying about, you know, just cleaning the temple. You know, it's much more to it than just what you're eating as well. You know, like it says in 1 Corinthians that evil communications corrupt good manners. So you also have to be very aware of what you're listening to, what type of music you're listening to, what type of conversations that you're participating in, what you're watching on television, social media. A lot of those things, you know, poison your mind. So your mind is filthy. So you just got to stay away from those things as well. Try to keep your conversations in the heavens, like the scriptures say. Talk to people that are positive. Stay away from people that are always complaining and arguing and got some type of drama going on, because that also pollutes you.
Psalms 1:1. Psalms 1:1. Don't sit in the company of scorners.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and many times we have people that, in the midst of being around people that are positive and that think on a holy mind frame, they tend to make connections more easily, especially in these times where people are mostly on their phone or on Facebook, social media. But when it comes to face-to-face conversations, a lot of people can't hold a conversation.
Not at all.
They can't hold a conversation. They can't socialize. But they behind the scenes on their keyboard, they're more bold, man. They're bolder than a thief going into a business to steal money. And it's like, at least, you know, the thief, he'd be looking around, be like, yo, I want to get caught. But online, nobody cares. Like what they say online, the internet has no chill. I mean, there's no limit to what you could say. People say the wildest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, keyboard warriors.
You could be whoever you want to be there.
Come. And sometimes, like, you could meet somebody online and you go and meet them, you've been catfished. Like, you're like, who are you? No. But if you would come to Holyday, you would see that person in the flesh. Like, yo, shaking hands, bopping chests, bopping hands. And it's like, yo, what's up? Hello, sister. Hello, brother. It's like, oh, okay, yo, I seen you online doing your thing, putting scriptures out there, doing what you should do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, thank you, you know? And sometimes I make connections for for a lot of things that would otherwise I would never have done without the Most High, without the feast days. People I wouldn't meet otherwise, because they either live too far, or they don't have any occasion to come and see each other. And that's a sad thing. Why not just come around each other, be in the presence of each other, and that energy propagates? How many times between brothers is in the chat? How many times have you been around people who talk about a subject? I talked about that like 2 days ago or yesterday. Yeah, and you bung, 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 and connections are being made. That's the spirit moving. Now imagine you in the feast, and you have those type of conversation on godly level, and connections are being made, and next thing you know, what we're looking for 2-3 months, Most High put it on the platter for you at the feast day. You just have to show up. But you don't know that, because, oh no, I don't want to be there. I got this going on, I got that going on. But lo and behold, the solution is at the feast day. But you don't know. Most High, many times, brothers will tell you that they go on the feast day and they found solutions to their problem. They found gifts that was waiting for them. And when I say gifts, I'm talking about solutions to problems, not necessarily something you could have in your hand. And it's like, damn, I was looking for that for 3 weeks. I was looking for this for 2 weeks, or I didn't know where to go. Next thing you know, you're good. So why? But again, with that, I love y'all. And I will see y'all probably next Wednesday, Most High willing. And we're gonna have another class, man. You got something else to say, Zion?
Just want to say, everybody enjoy this week coming up. Love you all as well. Shalom.
Shalom.